All right, so Lamine Yamal, one of the most talented players right now. Let's see where he came from.
In Rocafonda, which is where a boy with all the traits of the street at his feet showed up, Lamine.
Yo no estaba apuntado al fútbol porque económicamente mis padres aún no podían y pues solo jugaba en el parque con niños que me encontraba en el parque.
So that's one of the big things that I want to emphasize, guys, is most talented players growing up, they don't have money to hire a personal trainer, to even buy cones, to go to the gym, to have expensive shoes. They literally are created on the streets, which makes them fascially driven, which and plus a whole another load of very positive characteristics for their ability in football is from this environment.
A barrio where football is always in the air.
Y aquí jugaban.
Street football in its purest form and barefoot, a style that impressed everyone at his first club, where he
All right, so he's playing barefoot on the streets with his friends. That is literally exactly what I tell everyone. That is where talent is made. You cannot make talent in an academy doing cone drills. It's literally physically impossible. For one, the flow state that is created on the street when you're playing with your friends is unrivaled. It's impossible to create the same learning acquisition rate that occurs in the flow state versus trying to do 10,000 touches every hour. It just doesn't work that way. The brain does not work that way.
where he started when he was barely 4 years old.
Y pues ya ahí probé.
So again, all the guys that ask me, Taylor, should I fly to Europe and pay for a trial with some agent in Spain? No, you probably shouldn't. Because if you were good enough, if you were talented enough, you would get coaches offering to pay for you. So fix the root cause. The root cause is you. You're not good enough. You're not talented enough. Don't blame politics. Don't blame coaches. This is a little kid from both his parents were not from Spain. They were refugees, immigrants. They didn't have money to buy anything expensive. They couldn't even afford to join a club. His talent got him there. That is the thing that changes your life. So focus on that. Don't focus on the things that don't.
Y pues ahí tuve suerte.
Lo que te vale es el descaro, es especial.
Cosas que no te enseñan en la escuela.
Claro.
Things they don't teach you at school. Things you can't learn doing cone drills. Same thing. When you're in that flow state and your creativity is flourishing, that is when you create new tricks, new skills, you try things, and you just literally create out of nothing some kind of skill or solution to make the pass or the tackle or the goal. You can't memorize that. It has to be inside of you, has to be some kind of creative genius. And the only way that you can develop that is, like we're showing, is on the streets playing football. Now, underneath that, you need a lot of the physical characteristics to unleash that ability, because nowadays most players are damaging what it takes to unlock that creative genius with video games, porn, Netflix, gym training, cone drills, toxic food, processed foods, all kinds of things going on your skin, soaps and shampoos, all these chemicals. All these things bring down and downregulate how well your brain functions. If your brain is not functioning well, you will not be a creative genius on the football pitch.
He only lasted a year and a half at La Torreta, the time it took Barcelona to find him.
Finalizaciones que decía, hostia, ¿esto lo ha hecho queriendo o ha sido casualidad?
As Barcelona would eventually find out. Lamine was a player who had learned all this at another school, the school on the streets of Rocafonda.
Jugar con mis amigos en la calle, yo creo que...
And that's a big point that I want to emphasize. A lot of you guys growing up, you're told, oh, the big famous Barcelona academy, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, they're all great. They have tons of money. They have the big facilities. They have the nice fields. But really, what is like actually is going on that actually leads to top level players making it into the first team from the academy? It's simply them collecting the most talented kids in the area and putting them in one spot, like in one melting pot, where 2 or 3 players come out of that melting pot and actually become a Xavi or a Messi or a Iniesta. It's not about like it's not a factory. It's not like these academies are making these players. They find the kids with talent and they just put them with the other kids who are talented. They play a bunch of football, and over 5, 6, 7 years, if they stay healthy, a few of them become top level pros. That's how it works. And yet, no one wants to come to terms with the fact that every single pro academy in the world has literally no idea how they're actually making talent. It's just luck, because they don't understand the fascia. They don't understand the flow state. They don't understand the nervous system. They don't understand how the mitochondria works.
Es parte de mi juego y de lo que hace que sea así. Que me sale lo que me salga en el momento, al final.
I just do what feels at the right time. The more that you learn to feel yourself, and what he's saying is just getting a closer connection to his gut instinct, his flow state. That instinct is the creative genius. And most of the things in our world destroy that connection. But the best athletes have it better, and they almost operate on autopilot, listening to that divine intervention.
No pienso lo que voy a hacer, pero me sale bien.
Es un pueblo de familia, marroquíes, africanos, la mayoría gente trabajadora, la mayoría. Estaba en 2 bandos, uno allá y otro acá. Buenas a veces, y eso es peligroso. En qué circunstancias algún problema, por eso, aún siendo de aquí, lo incorporamos en la Masía.
Lamine moves to live in La Masía.
Este código postal es como una unión.
Yeah, so it's funny how fast they skip over his whole time at La Masia. It's because it's like, yes, it's very helpful that he's in a safe environment with better food, more talented players to play around. That is all great, but he would have gotten that at any other top level academy. What truly separates him is his own talent that was built from age 0, from crawling to walking to just playing football in the backyard to playing on the streets against other people. He developed that over 13, 14, 15 years. And then that's when La Masia, snapped him up.
Entre nosotros hizo ver Rocafonda un barrio positivo.
Today, the kid in everyone from Rocafonda is part of every dribble, and that boy who never forgot them. This is the Bicycle Diaries.
That was a short video about Lamal's upbringing. And honestly, it's not rocket science. Like, that was kind of obvious to me, at least. But it's good that you guys saw some videos, some evidence from people in his past, from his childhood, from his community. And it just goes to show that what it takes to become a player like Lamine Yamal is not it's not complicated, but it's not easy. It's simple, but it's hard, because there's something special about him that he developed from age 0 playing on the streets. I'm sure there's other kids in his neighborhood that played with him a lot, that played the same games on the same court with the same ball under the same sunlight, but didn't make it that far. Now there's other factors like how well his athletic ability was developed from age 0. There's tons of other things like that we can train in guys like you to reverse engineer and make you built like Lamine Yamal. And then with enough time, you can actually develop and become talented, not exactly like him, because that's very hard to do over maybe, let's say if you have 15 years, we could do it. But we don't, because if you're coming to me when you're 14 years old or you're 20 years old, well, we can make big improvements, but we can't make you Lamine Yamal. So take from this that you literally have the power to become built like these guys. And then with enough time and consistency and execution, you can really make some huge strides in your career and unlock your fullest potential as a footballer. Now, if you enjoyed this video, down below there are 2 links, one for our free assessment and one for our newsletter. Get on both and we'll get you started on your journey to becoming an elite footballer. If you're a pro footballer watching this, send me an email at taylor@footballentangled.com and we'll talk about how we can transform your career and take you from where you're at to the Champions League and your national team. We work with tons of players across the world, from the Champions League all the way down to the grassroots. So our methods work on the top players and the players that are just starting out. So happy to help. Enjoy this, guys. Talk soon.